Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video on my channel here. Now in today's video, guys, I'm going to be bringing you a coverage defense that can clamp up the best offenses in Madden 21. Now quickly guys, if you have not checked out my two most recent videos, they are going to be in the top right of the screen right now in the card. But guys, without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into the pre-play adjustments for this coverage defense. Alright guys, so here we go. These are going to be the pre-play adjustments for this coverage defense. We're going to start out in the coaching adjustments tab. You want to make sure for your zone drops, your flats are on 20 yards and curl flats are on 5 yards. This is inverse to what I basically run with my defense. I usually run 5 for flats, 25 for curl flats, but actually we're going to bump this up to 25. The reason why is because if we bump these up to 25, it becomes very, very difficult for crossing routes and corner routes to get over the flats, because if you put them at 20 yards, there is a possibility that those routes could get over the zones. So you want to make sure that your zone drops are on 20, that your zone drops flats 25, curl flats 5. So in terms of the play today, we are going to be running the nickel double A gap formation out of the Cincinnati Bengals defensive playbook. And the play is going to be this cover 3 cloud show 2. Now quickly here for your audible or for your personnel subs, you want to make sure that your best defensive linemen are in these two spots right here. So we have DJ Reader and Carl Lawson in these two defensive tackle spots. These are the guys that are going to be rushing consistently, as we will be throwing this in this defensive end into zone. So you want to make sure right there that those guys, that your best edge rushers are on this side of the field. And then in terms of these linebackers who you just want to sub in pretty good safeties that have pretty good speed. So I sub in Trayvon Henderson and then Brandon Wilson. They'll do a pretty good job right here. Now here we go. We're just going to be running the play. And on offense, we are going to be running gun bunch tight end PA boot over, one of the best plays in Madden. So basically right here, what we're going to do for this first setup is we're first going to press our defense, which is going to be wind down the left stick. Then we're going to shade over the top, which is going to be wind up on the right stick. Then we're going to pinch our defensive line, which is left on the D-pad, down the left stick. And then we're going to slant them outside, which is going to be left on the D-pad, up on the right stick. And then finally, we are going to pass commit, which is going to be right bumper and up on that right stick. And then also too, I forgot this step. We're going to go and we're going to blitz our user, which is A and down the right stick. Basically, this will give you more agility. So basically, this is the setup right here. Pretty simple defense. We do have that cloud flat at about 25 yards, so you're going to have to cover underneath. That's the biggest thing about this defense. You're going to want to cover the underneath routes and on the side that the cloud flat's on. So pretty much we're just going to hike the ball, and you're going to see right here we're just going to cover the underneath routes. Now we are rushing 4. You see right there we got very, very good pressure as we did rush 4 guys right there. So that is a positive of this defense, is that although it's very stock, you are rushing 4 guys, so you have a higher chance of getting a sack. So now guys, we're going to move on into the second setup here. What we're going to do, we're going to press, shade over the top, pinch defensive line, slant outside, pass commit, blitz our user. Then we're going to go and we are going to throw that right side defensive lineman here, Sam Hubbard. We're going to be throwing him into a curl flat zone, which is going to be double tapping the left D-pad, pressing the B button, and flicking that left stick to the right. Now you're going to do this for the side that is away from the bunch. So I did the right side right here. You see that right side is going to be away from the bunch, which is on the left. Now, in this case here, if my opponent were, say, to audible to gun bunch, we'll just run PA post. Let's just say hypothetically, if he were to go ahead and run this, what we would do then is we would go and throw Carl Lawson into a hard flat zone on this side. So you see now we have those double flats right here. That's going to be really, really big. But in this case here, my opponent is running gun bunch tight ends, so we're going to be obviously going and throwing the right side defensive lineman in a curl flat. So this is going to be the play. We're just going to hike the ball. You're going to see, unfortunately, I can't get off the defensive lineman. Don't know why I couldn't, but you see right there we got really good pressure, and we were able to go ahead and bring the heat despite only having 3 people rushing. Now, guys, here we go. We're going to be moving into the final setup here for this defense. What we're going to be doing, press, shade over the top, pinch defensive line, slant outside, pass commit, blitz your user. Then we're going to be throwing that right side defensive lineman into a curl flat. Then we are going to go next, and we are going, and that's any defensive lineman that's away from the bunch you're going to be throwing in either a curl flat or a hard flat, depending on what side the defense is on, or what side the bunch is on, what is opposite of the bunch. And also, what side has a curl flat and what side is a cloud flat. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be throwing this the left side linebacker who's in a hook curl right now. We're going to be manning him up with one of the receivers. So we're just going to double tap the right D-pad, press the X button, flick that right stick up, and we're going to man up. Let's go with Rashard Higgins here, just for this example. We're going to man him up. And then the next thing we're going to do, guys, the final thing we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to be throwing this left side defensive lineman who is blitzing, Jermaine Pratt in this case. We are going to go and throw him into a bluff blitz zone, which is going to be double tapping the left D-pad, press the X button, and flick that right stick to the right. So you see here, we're basically playing max coverage and we're mixing in a little man there too. And the thing is here with this defense, guys, is that you are going to be rushing 2 guys, so be very wary of this. Maybe use this in only like a 4th down situation because you're going to be really playing max coverage. So it's going to be really big. So we're just going to hike the ball. You see there, we are going to be tapping that right guard, which is actually going to be pretty big. But you're seeing right here, pressure is not really coming through, but it's not really mattering as we're pretty much locking everything up on the field. And you see here, we're actually going to be going ahead and able to get a sack on this play. Now, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you guys have, make sure to smash that like button. Let's stretch for 5 likes. You guys are awesome. Take care. Most importantly, stay classy.